Hi, my name's Keith Cooper at Northlight Images. You'll notice this isn't the normal place I shoot my videos, up in my office. What I'm showing here in this video is a very quick and easy way to set up for product photography. Why should I be doing this sitting in front of my piano here with a laptop connected up to camera? Because I mentioned that my father died last year and he was an avid collector of model railway equipment. And that means that I have an awful lot of model railway equipment to find new homes for. So the easiest way is to take lots of photographs. The particular loco here, this is a Fleischmann steam engine, German make. There are boxes and boxes. He kept the boxes for everything. That means the other half of the room is full of packing boxes full of stuff. There are hundreds of trains. There are all sorts of, there are coaches, there are trucks, there are vans, everything. So I need to take some photos. Now, the quick and easy way to do it is just to photograph stuff on your phone or something like that. Just put it through. But I wanted something a bit better, since I was going to send these photos off to somebody I know who actually is a dealer for such stuff. There are a few bits and pieces I will keep for personal reasons, partly because some of the earliest stuff was actually always has been mine. It was bought for my 6th birthday, when I was 6 for Christmas, I get that right way round, in 1966. So in fact, it's the only thing I really remember about 1966. Don't remember the World Cup or anything like that, but I do remember getting a train set for Christmas. Now, when I left home, that train set, well, long before I left home, that train set grew and had its own shed, everything. So lots of stuff. Anyway, to what I've got here, the very basic setup. Now, I've, over the years, taught no end of people, small businesses and the likes, how to do their own product photography. This is the most basic setup. You'll see I've got a camera here. Now I'm using my 5DS because I really don't need 100 megapixel images that I'd get from using the GFX 100. And also the Canon tethering software is rather good. Now, I've got this set up here. I've connected it up to my laptop. This is a MacBook Pro, current version, and it's running the free EOS utility software. Now, for people doing their own product photography, if you've got more than a few items to do, the biggest improvement most people ever make is learning how to use a camera tethered like this. I've got live view. I can see it running on the screen there. Now, the background I've got here. This is a sheet of flexible white plastic. This is our dining room table, and it is clamped in two places at one edge. I put a bit of masking tape along the front, but literally it makes a curve. You can see it here in the view, and it gives, if suitably lit, it's an infinity curve. It's a very easy way to set things up. What about lighting? Well, the two lights I've got here are LED flat panels. Now, these are ones that you can tune the colour to, so I've set them to 5500. One set slightly brighter than the other. They're very easy to adjust the brightness of. They're just on stands. Depending on what sorts of things you're photographing, you might want the lighting higher or lower, different, one brighter than the other. But you'll notice that the standard setup I've got here is a light on either side at 45 degrees to the subject. So if the camera's pointing at the subject, the lights are off at an angle on either side. I've just added this extra light here. This is my little portable light, just so you can actually see me in the gloom in here. It's quite bright, but obviously if I was videoing it, you just get a voice from offset. But here we go, everything's set up. The lens I'm using is a zoom lens. It's the EF 2470 2.8L, so a reasonable lens. What settings am I using for photography here? ISO 100, the lowest, best quality, and I can see the settings here on the screen, and I can see that it's currently set, I've upped it to 400 just to make things a little bit easier for when I was doing some testing, but 100 is okay. But in this, I've put it at 400 because I'm shooting at f14. Now, I can see people with digital experience are throwing their hands up going, oh, think of the diffraction. Yeah, who cares about the diffraction? I'm after depth of field. I am after getting a picture here with the front of the train and getting some of the box in focus behind it. f14 does that nicely. I could go to f16 if need be, but yeah, f14 is okay for that. Depth of field. In terms of exposure, I'm using the live view histogram here, and that shows me that the peak white in this scene is just almost clipping, but not quite clipping. So that's exposure taken care of. Focus, I'm using autofocus. All I need to do is hover my mouse button over the little release button here, and I can hear the lens focusing. And it will focus and show on that. Press that. The pictures, I'm shooting RAW and JPEG just because might be easier processing them. Some people might want the high resolution images. I don't know what I'm using these photos for, so I might as well shoot them at a pretty good quality. As I said, I could have used the GFX 100S and have 100 megapixel images, but the tethering software, even though Fuji have recently improved it, is nowhere near on this. Indeed, over the years, when people have asked me about getting a camera to do this basic setup for product photography, the number of times I've recommended Canon cameras, not because Canon cameras were inherently superior over something else, perfectly good, but the software you got with it in terms of the EOS utility software has been this good for years. I've used it going back for years. It's dead easy to do. So that's about it really. Apart from the logistics, which you need to consider. I got everything out down here. It's all full of boxes of that and had things ready. Think of cataloguing as well. I've made sure that each photo has got a model number on the box in the shot so that you can find out what it is. If I was doing this on a commercial job, then, well, I wouldn't be shooting it probably here in this setup. But if I was doing this on a commercial job, I might well have another laptop open or another screen with a spreadsheet on it where I'm making notes of the file numbers against the part numbers. Because these things here are easy to see what it is. When you're photographing hundreds and hundreds of small industrial components or something like that, it is very easy to get lost. And one thing you really don't want to do on this is have a great set of photos, but not be quite sure exactly what they are. So keep your notes, or in this case, make sure that the numbers. Incidentally, this plastic here, although you can use dry white pens on it to write notes on that go into the photos, I would advise against it because dry white pens, unless you're very careful with them, can build up a slight residue on it. Keep that plastic clean. If you don't want it against a white background, I've got another similarly sized sheet of plastic, flexible plastic, that is grey. And that works well where I want a different background. But for this one, this works absolutely fine. And I'll just take a picture of this. I can hear it focusing. There we go. I've taken a picture. Next. Now, if you're doing lots of things, it really helps having 3 people doing this. 1 person opening boxes, getting stuff ready. 1 person in charge of the photography, and 1 person packing stuff up afterwards. But that's commercial product photography. It is at a much bigger scale than things like this. Now, this is the sort of stuff that I do teaching for companies in the UK. But I just thought this just makes it nice and easy. This setup shows that for something like this, I don't need absolute professional studio quality, but I want good. So, if you've got any questions, let me know. Oh, one thing I forgot about saying here, this lighting. To make sure that I get the correct colours from this, I took a shot of this Colour Checker Passport beforehand. I will use that to make a DNG profile and know that by applying that DNG profile, when I process the raw files here, I will get colour correction for every single picture. Now, it's not that important, but I thought, well, I might as well do the job properly. That's the target your focus for that. You don't necessarily need that. If your lights are good, you can get away just with a plain grey card. Now, that's that one there. Just to fold that back. This colour checker passport, this is one of the original ones. This has probably been in 200 or 300 different factories over its life and opened up taking pictures just to allow for the sort of lighting that you get there. Anyway, there you go. That's it. Dead simple product photography setup. Any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Or please do subscribe. And if you know anyone interested in the UK wanting product photography training, let me know. You can make it as complex as you like. Cheers.